Who will next employ Jose Mourinho? Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to On My Head, son. I hope you're all well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. So, Jose Mourinho, yes, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he got sacked, royally sacked, from Roma, where he'd had some success, actually a lot of success over the last couple of years. Not necessarily in the league, in the Serie A, but certainly in winning the Conference League, the Europa Conference League, for the first year, and then the second year getting into the Europa Cup final, where they lost in quite controversial style. But this year, not doing so well in the league, and they got knocked out of the Italian Cup by their city rivals Lazio, and that was kind of seen as a major disaster. They slumped to 9th in the league, I think it was. So that's it. I mean, it hasn't been going so well for them anyway. The question now is, well, who else would employ him? What other teams? Can we expect Jose Mourinho to come back into the Premier League? Well, we know the issues that are going on with Chelsea and Pochettino, and whether he's going to survive maybe even to the end of the season, or certainly will there be a change at the end of the season. I suppose it really depends how Chelsea do from now to the end of the season. They're in the League Cup final against Liverpool. If they do quite well there, if they win it, you would imagine that Pochettino is going to stay on for a little bit longer. If they have a bit of a rally towards the end of the season and they finish the season on a high, then you think, you know what, they'll maybe stick with him. But would Chelsea go back to Jose Mourinho? Well, lots of saying, well, yeah, we would, because he's a winner. But what about Liverpool? Liverpool are going to lose Jurgen Klopp at the end of the season, so who's going to be their manager? Now, you know, I've said myself, oh, what about Liverpool? Would they employ Mourinho? Well, it seems to be that Liverpool and their fan base and the kind of football that they want to see and that they've played in the past, and maybe the whole ethos around the club, is not a match for Mourinho. Why would you get Mourinho, his sort of mentality, his kind of brand of football, into Liverpool? It just wouldn't seem to work. And I don't think the fan base would like him anyway, especially of the past with Liverpool, when he was certainly with Chelsea as well. So I can't really see that. But could I see him at another Premier League club? Well, I could. Definitely could. I could definitely see him back at Chelsea. I could see him at my club, at West Ham. Now, I'm sure many West Ham fans would just totally disagree with me. But I think if you're going to bring in a manager with a proven track record and a winner, then there's no better manager than Jose Mourinho. However, would he bring the brand of football that we would want? I don't think so. But will he bring us success? Well, I think he would. And I think he would bring us more tactical success, greater tactical success, certainly more than David Moyes. Now, David Moyes is obviously doing very well. We've done really well the last couple of seasons. Certainly the Europa League semis, obviously the Conference League. We won last year, woohoo! And then obviously this year we're still in the Europa League. Domestic cups, we haven't done so well. Last year in the league, it was a disaster. It was only the Conference League that got us into Europa League this season. Since the start of the year, kind of indifferent results, really. Our last showing out against Man United wasn't that great in terms of result, but I thought our performance was better, a lot better. In fact, if we had better shooting boots on, I think, we would have done quite well. I'm going off on a tangent here because I'm just thinking, well, whether Mourinho in a West Ham outfit against a kind of, a subpar Man United, even though they stuffed us 3-0, I think we might have done better. Now, my issue with Mourinho is this. I don't see him as a long-term manager, not for club and not for a country, because there's also been links of Mourinho taking over either Portugal or Brazil or other nations as well. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of appetite for him to manage on the international stage. However, I think he's only got 2.5 years, 3 seasons in one particular job. In fact, the older he gets, it's probably more like 1.5 seasons to 2 seasons before he starts royally pissing people off. Not only the fans, but also the players, but also the management and the ownership of the club as well. Let's not forget that he went into Spurs and he took them to a League Cup final. Now, whether you like the brand of football or not, there was a cup to be won. Now, they decided to sack him before he could get to the final and take Spurs against Man City, I believe it was. Now, would they have won that final? Who knows? We just don't know, do we? I think there's a really good chance, however, that Mourinho would have prepared Tottenham to fight and to not get beat so easily. Now, you could say that's a bit of a negative stance and his whole approach to football, but I've always admired his tactical awareness and the way he can get results out of players and out of teams that maybe shouldn't really be getting results out of. Now, here's the issue. Ever since he left Porto and obviously winning the European Cup, he hasn't really been at a club that hasn't really given him lots of support. He's always had lots of money. Now, Roma, perhaps not as much, but certainly he's always had it. Yeah, I suppose you could argue not as much with Tottenham as well, but he still had a lot of support there as well. I'm just wondering if he came to a club like West Ham that he wouldn't get that support, how good would he be? Now, can I see him at another club in the Premier League? Well, not really. I can't really see him at another top 6 team. I can't really see him going back to Man United. Well, arguably, you could say, well, actually, he had the most success there since Fergie. I certainly can't see him at Liverpool. Actually, yes, I could see him at Chelsea, definitely, especially if Pochettino doesn't carry on doing well. But I can't see him anywhere else, apart from a club like West Ham. Any other team, I don't think will be big enough for Mourinho. Now, this is probably going to shock a lot of people, right? But this is where I actually see Mourinho going. If I had to put a bet on it, this is where I would see Mourinho going. And this might surprise a lot of people. I see him at PSG. I see him at Paris Saint-Germain. And I think it will be a perfect managerial appointment for them who want to have success in Europe. And I think he's the manager who they might be able to convince to go there and to get them over the line. It might take them a couple of seasons, but certainly they have the spending power. They have the domination in their league, and it's such a big club and it's such a big name that it might attract him to go there. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Where would Jose Mourinho go next? Is it likely? Is it even possible that it come to the Premier League? Who do you think's the biggest contender to get him as a manager in the Premier League? Do you even want to see him in the Premier League? And do you agree with me that actually Paris Saint-Germain is a good shout for him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. And I will catch you again on another video coming very soon. Bye now.